What's going on, YouTube? We are into it. Another CSGO analysis. This time, it's going to be on my alternate YouTube channel because my old channel got hacked. It's frozen. It's still safe to be sub 2, but I made a small error, got my email and my YouTube hacked, but I've been craving uploading videos. So what I've been doing now, or what I'm going to do, is since I'm streaming all the time and trying to stick to my schedule, is I'm going to try to do this. One game a day in the morning where I take a look at a match from like Cologne that I missed. Today the hot match is Sprout versus OG. Apparently it was an absolute heater on the T side by Sprout, so we're just going to watch the first half and try to add some context to it. Still safe to be subbed to my old YouTube channel, CS BOXR. This one's going on the new one. Okay, the alter ego, Coach Lau, where we take a look at all these games and figure out what went right and what went wrong. Now, Sprout, who would have thought Sprout would be the team that we're going to be watching for the first episode? Definitely not me. Definitely not Alexi B after that. Okay, the 3K with the dualies on the first round, and suddenly it's a 2v4, but of course, this round is all but lost. And from what I saw, there's a bunch of posts on the front page of the subreddit about Sprout and how good their T-side was. But I was immediately suspicious, okay, because I'm sure Sprout can be a great team, but let's be real. There's no way OG didn't make a few mistakes here. I love OG. Okay, I love OG. I dream OG. But we both know, okay, everybody and their mother knows OG will make a few mistakes from time to time. So let's see if it was Sprout and the calling by Speedy that was really that masterful, or if OG made a few other mistakes. This is going to be something of a kind of chill commentary, like light analysis, watch the game. Might cast if casting calls for it, but just going to go over, take a look for my own selfish benefit of missing the match and getting the analysis going, and being able to catch up. Because every time I'm in my stream, which by the way is completely dying while Cologne is on, every viewer that I do have has Cologne open on the first or second monitor, me open on the second, telling me about the match results, and there I am playing my low-level CSGO pugs, wishing I was watching Cologne myself. But I've been pretty for the first time ever. I've committed to a schedule, and I'm enjoying it. I didn't think I would like routine. I didn't realize I was a creature of habit, but I am, just like everybody else. And it feels good to be on a full schedule and stick to it. Okay. So first bad sign, getting glocked at ramp as a solo man there. 2 emergency rotates from the CTs. And I'm sure they'll be okay. Yeah, that angle is too strong. Valda gets caught just falling back as the smoke fades. Awkward position, of course. Smoke's going up. You want to fight. As soon as you use your ammo, they're going to pounce like a shark in the water. They're going to smell blood. Hey, this guy's out in the open. Let's go flying through the smoke, and they have Glocks. So it could be a precarious spot. Understandable that you can die that way. But these are the first 2 rounds. Actually a great start from OG. And again, we're here to talk about how good Sprout were on the T side. So now we're out to the first rifle round. Let's see if there's any speedy magic on this one. Look at the noob tube up top from Alexi B. Pretty standard default. I don't think we had any smokes go down outside. Oh, they do the double hut grenade. I'm going to trust the observing here. I don't know if it's auto director or if it's going to be using the a rush or whoever is observing in the game, but I'm going to trust it because I don't trust myself. And I hope it catches most things, but I think that was a double hut nade that we just saw. And a good opening kill. Valda kind of out in transition once again. That last round he got caught inside the ramp. This time looked like he was floating between 2 different positions here. If you get ramped this quickly, you can immediately take the lower site and not really be worried. Shoot, I know how to pronounce his name. Dicha? I'm going to go with Dicha. I'm not sure if it's... I think it might be Dicha or Diha? Maybe Diha. Our Polish friend. Who I believe will be opping. No, wait. No, that doesn't make sense. Our other Polish friend. That'd be our other Polish friend. But yeah, Valda in his position at ramp, of course, when he dies, he knows that the whole round's in jeopardy. The really rough part is ramp on nuke is more like a middle on the map than any other position. You can't plant at ramp, but when you go middle, you can hit both bomb sites from 2 different choke points. So you can add an additional choke point in heaven to hit upstairs, along with HUD and Squeaky. And now on lower site, if you had someone go through outer into secret, you can now crush inner from 2 ways. And the real value there is a lot of the spots now, like Xantaris on the side of the B site or behind the side, like a lot of the places that you would stand normally are now compromised from 2 different angles. Whereas if you know they're only coming secret, for example, your options are way more open for how you can hold lower. So really bad spot there for Valda to die. Of course, his best case is get a kill and then fall off, or ace, I guess. But I think in an ideal situation, the one you talk about when you're scrimming is Valda spots one, gets down the ramp into a spot where he can call for rotates, delay a little bit, and then fight when the crossfire comes in from like control room, or teammates can support him a little bit better. Instead, he ends up dying trying to, I don't know, he's just kind of floating around. So Sprout, I would say, just caught a great timing there on the ramp, and that's what opened up this first round. One thing I'm going to pay attention to first as well is how many opening kills Sprout get. I'm sure that's going to be a defining statistic in this half. Just make sure I'm actually recording. Yeah, we get that. Yeah, it's the double hut grenade this time. It doesn't result in a kill. They throw the late Molotov after the fact. Always good to try to condition your opponents. Well, that's a fancy smoke grenade, and a nice opening frag for Alexi B. Answered back times 2 snatchy trades through the hut. We've got eyes on heaven, and the mini rotations are smoked out as well. No further support here. Let's talk about this value once again. It's about how quickly the round is over. You know, the reason that players on ramp drop down as soon as they do is because they're usually by themselves. In that position, you're responsible for the whole round by living or dying, how much, you know, what you can do while you're still alive. And if you can't even delay, it can almost always, or it can almost be an instant save unless you've got some buddy in a gimmicky position to catch 2 after the fact. Same thing goes for upstairs. If you get that open and kill, but 2 get traded back so quickly that nobody can get up the ladder in heaven or into mini to support, the round is basically a wash. So OG turned that one into a save. And although Sprout don't get the opening kill, the trades were just as good, even better. And it was a pretty amazing trade too. Spam through the hut. But either way, Sprout keeping it very simple so far. Game plan has been a focus inside of this nuclear power plant. Not outside yet. Not abusing the yard just yet. Go ahead and fast forward through this tack timeout. And we're off to the races. So we've got a couple of smokes outside. I might have missed if they had thrown them in the past. And interesting. Whoa, snappy. For the sacrifice of about 60 HP, finds the kill on Mantu. Another opening kill towards Sprout. And all the while, it looks like we actually had... maybe I'm going to take this into my own hands and try spectating a little bit here. We've got Dennis, who has snuck outside with 1. He's in a really good spot, of course, and they didn't actually spot him crossing because they were so distracted inside a mini. Even just that Molotov. And they don't even bother combining that with another glass break, I don't think. But Dennis grabs the frag, and now he's just here to hold off rotations. In a great headshot position, 20 HP doesn't even matter. This round is already over. Look at the health bars on Sprout. A few duels here lost by OG. Valda could have definitely picked that one up on Dennis. Kind of surprised that he jumped through the way that he did, but he could have done damage, and even if he had died, would have given his team a lot of information about Valda, and they could have followed up on ramp. But either way, it's that opening kill that's incredibly relevant. And then the fact that they pull off that lurk outside quickly from Dennis. Poor Issa, shivering in his boots, looking for the safe. All right, I'm going to come out of freeze time now. One thing I'd like to say about this outside take, and I should be able to bring up the mini-map, but I'm not sure how to do that right now, is for the outside take, one thing I love about how they played that round is they kind of placed two bets. They had the squeaky opening pick because of a good spawn from Snatchy. The op can go in for that kill, and that's something that's very valid at every single level. You can try it if you want to, and taking 60 damage can be worth it even if you don't get a kill sometimes. I mean, it doesn't feel worth it, but it might be worth it to try 2 rounds in a row, take 60 damage each time, get at least 1 kill out of the 2. That's definitely, you know, should be around in the bag almost with that early 5v4. So that's a cool little risk that they take. And then the other one is that I really like is that they only send one person outside. This is something they used to do on NIP with Faflaren, is send, like way back in the day, is send him on this mercenary mission outside almost to get spotted, and then just to go lower, to just cause some dissent within the CT communication. But I think I'm not sure if he ran or not, but he got away, got lower, and it seemed like went unnoticed because of the amount of pressure they put on Mini at the same time. I'm going to try not to pause too much. I don't want to be too verbose in this. It's supposed to be some light analysis. But let's go ahead and skip past this eco round. I'm going to gamble and say that Sprout win this. That's a dub. Okay. Thank goodness. Otherwise, we would have gone back and watched that again. I mean, how deadly pistols can be these days. And so we've got the initial Molotovs to stop any rushes. Alexi B is fully accountable here for the squeaky bust out. And this time we've got a different take on outside. They haven't thrown their further smokes yet. They're trying to weaponize Snatchy and his spawn outside to hold down. Now, I don't know if they're pushing anybody into his attention. So one thing that teams will do is they'll get a op in a very aggressive position, and then they'll try to disrupt another part of the map to loosen up the defenses a little bit elsewhere. So if you put pressure on ramp, for example, someone might walk into Snatchy, not assuming that they also took outside. But it seemed like they were more patient than anything else. Favin looking for a lurk play, and Sprout. They clearly are moving with direction into this round. They've not gone downstairs. You know, if they're going lower, Favin might have been inside of Squeaky. Mantu fully prepped and ready, but off of a timing, misses the shot, and Favin, I think he's aware that that's an op that's looking at him. Otherwise, the spam could have come in. So now we got eyes on Snatchy. Another opening kill here for Sprout. Oh, they actually mollied Mantu out of position. I think he was holding down for that upstairs take. You know what? I didn't want to do this, but I'm going to go back and quickly watch that again. Because Mantu barely missed an opportunity to get a kill in Hut there. And the only points I want to award him for that is just being aware of what could be coming, especially with all of that outside presence. Hut's one of the choke points that you're not going to anticipate, I think, the most. But he was sitting there on the back of the site. So interesting. It's a complete standoff here between Mantu and Snatchy. The rotation's out after we see the cross smokes, and OG's goal here, you know, they need to put a bit of pressure outside. They haven't done that at all. I really don't like when teams don't nade this cross, don't spam at all. Try to get some free damage in. And so Mantu drops, and I think this is right around the moment. So lose another line of defense, and we can see how that changes the way that the CTs rotate. Oh, just by a split second misses Favin. Okay. But now he's aware of Mini, so he's hopping from... Oh my god, Molly lands right on his feet. He cannot peek from that angle. And he's on glass cannon as well. Instant trade there finally for Favin. And I believe that was the Molotov from Dennis as well. He's been doing a fantastic job as the lurker. Shout out to R the Dennis. Big dub for R the Dennis today. Okay, that was pretty cool. Gotta appreciate how the focus was on Mini, but they didn't allow their Mini guys to initiate the battle. So this pressure here from Favin tried to bait out attention towards Squeaky. Whether or not it amounts to anything, it draws out utility, and it forces the CTs to show presence. They're really worried about this vent drop. Favin ends up dying, and Sprout take this as an indicator that ramp might be a good option. Let's see how this angle pans out. Not so hot, not so hot. All right, let's go ahead and skip forward once again, assuming Sprout win here. W, okay. Sprout pick up the early dub on the anti-eco. Good recovery. So far, we've seen a lot of cool stuff here on this T side. Very pragmatic calling so far from Speedy, right? He's being dynamic. He's keeping it fresh. It doesn't seem like he's running too tight of a ship. It feels like a lot of the time they're able to follow through from their plan out of spawn all the way to the end of the round, as opposed to play reactively. Part of that is because they're getting the opening kill, which reinforces the idea that the plan is working. Again, we're talking about that opening kill versus good teams. You're going to win the round 75 to 80% of the time. You know, Sprout at this moment, absolutely playing, you know, like a top 15 team here on the T side, top 20 team, something like that. So I only say that because they're like, I think in the top 40. But we know how volatile the rankings can get outside of the top 20. It's pretty tough. Okay, so Speedy's looking for that entry. Looks to dodge a flash. Issa gets traded out right away. And Diha, wow. Nice angle clearing. The pathing was perfect. He actually stepped into the Molotov just to make sure that he got the angle on the top of hut. We saw Alexi B was sitting right here on the top of the hut, trying to hold down to see if somebody comes out of the hut because it's a free frag, and then crouched in case they come out but don't fully clear this. If they don't fully clear this, then they turn their attention to the back of the site, and Alexi B can stand up really quick and get a free headshot in, and then take his attention to hut once again, even drop in and fall through. But Diha, I believe, made sure to clear that angle as deeply as possible. So nothing too crazy about the way that they played this round. Sprout just going in for the upper take and following through with a couple of very, very good entries. And I think, once again, that was an opening kill answered back by 2 from the T's. Initial aggression outside. Get that info early is the MO for OG, and you can see why they want to do that. But the default is one step ahead. They haven't pushed up close. They've taken top silo control, and MBK gets caught in transition. Vault it? Oh, you'd think Dennis would hit that. Somehow, coming back out of secret. How did this man get into secret in the first place? I didn't even see that. I don't know if we had an early event drop or not. I'm not rewinding this time, okay? We're going to try to keep this video short. I'm going to pretend like I'm actually casting a live match here with some NA replays. Oh, that's a pretty fantastic spray. I mean, the second kill not coming through is one thing, but getting the damage off is great. And listen, the rotation here is actually a good read from OG. They've set up nicely to stop this. And Issa gets the first kill. Oh, another trade through the hut. But the instant 1v1 now from Montu. However, when the vent is open and the player's upstairs, you're always going to drop Snatchy, even dropping the Molotov behind him. And, oh, Montu, it looked like, yeah, he smoked the Molotov to try to beat the timing. But will he beat Snatch? No, he won't. Holy, Snatchy still confident after that he'd be able to get there in time. Very confident play there by Snatchy. And it's kind of black and white for Snatchy, I think. when you know that the player is backside around hut and you have vent open in a 1v1. You just drop. I would look at lower as an empty site at that point, and you don't leave an empty site. There's no point in trying to fight otherwise. Coming down the vent is not very fun. The worst part was for Mantis, about 20 seconds left as well, so he took his own risk by dropping down as fast as he did. Okay, wow, Sprout actually won that round, even though we had a double rotate in from OG. Another incredible trade, honestly, through... We're seeing some good movement here from Favin. Incredible trade through the hut from Diha. If hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Interesting. Another very passive default. I think what's key here for Sprout is maintaining tension. OG are the ones that are getting caught off guard. They're losing rounds they should be winning. They're losing the close rounds. They're getting outplayed. And with all that in mind, you know, when you back an animal into the corner, that's when they start doing things out of desperation, and that's when it's sometimes a very good idea just to sit and wait. Let them make a mistake. We saw that aggressive push-up outside last round. Another reason why this YouTube video that's going to have 10 views is better than ESL 1 Cologne is the crosshairs. We're going to have view on all of these different crosshair. Production like you've never seen. I feel like Mojo Jojo right now. I've got my fingers on all the keys. I'm pushing the buttons. I don't even know where that kill actually went down. Maybe I shouldn't be trusted with the observing. Okay. Valda, strong angle. Yeah. Could make that two. A little bit labored on the last one. Snatchy instant trade. 2v2 situation. Not the worst spot in the world, except no other players are downstairs. Bomb can get planted. And at this point, you know, you want to favor the T's. Oh, Issa. That's really unfortunate. He heard Snappy run across his screen. And yeah, if he had opened the door and just looked to the right, he would have been able to get the kill. But his other teammate also had him in view. I actually don't mind that risk from Issa. He left Alexi B in this 1v2. But I think it was still a sound play. Oh, Snatchy. He's just going for it today. He decided to take the pick on the left side, run all the way over, assuming Alexi would just try to stick the bomb. Stuck out in no man's land. Another tough situation. Another opening kill. Didn't see how that went down. But I believe NBK got caught, potentially outside. I'm going to go ahead and skip this eco, assuming Sprout win. W. Okay. Why don't we take a quick breather here? So what, well, not too quick. It looks like they've already decided what they're going to try to do. Snatchy's got a spawn and the op. It looks like he's going for that mini pick once again. MBK is our man coming into mini. So he's in a pretty dangerous spot. We can expect a Molotov to go down. What do you think is going to happen? I feel like he's in a good position to get a kill. At this point, if I'm OG, I'm broken. No confidence left. Communication's probably bad. Mistakes are just going to start rolling in. But we'll see. There is a chance. Oh, and Mantu put himself in an interesting position to actually try to help that. Oh, sorry, that was Valda with the rifle. Wow. Okay, so good dodge by Issa, but the trade back. And this leaves Upper in jeopardy a little bit. But more importantly, Squeaky actually looks like they're going to go for the drop. This is, again, Pragmatic calling here. This is reactive. They find that kill, they decide to drop vents, and they wreak havoc. Look at this. Valda actually, instead of being at ramp, has decided to help outside. But it's not the play at all. And oh my god. Dennis is upstairs. He's actually... His teammates are lower, and he's going to be able to get a kill upstairs as well. And that should be the... And oh my god, they come upstairs on top of all of that. With the vent control, having had just come up the vent themselves. Off of the play, Dennis can hold down the top of Squeaky to know that nobody's there. and he just walked through ramp, so no one could have flanked into Squeaky unless they went outside. That is some big brain gameplay. You do like to see that. Unless you're an OG fan, of course. We saw Valda, who normally has been at ramp, sitting in the back of big garage in that Elise spot, waiting to see if somebody's going to drop mini. But Sprout, maybe Dennis, literally had just walked into ramp. I love the liberties that he's taking on some of these lurks. They seem to be placing all of these tiny little bets across the map. Open and kill through Squeaky, cause a distraction, have someone sent secret one round, do a couple different variations. They haven't just done wall smokes every single time and then walked outside or not gone outside or sent one. They've only done the wall smokes once or twice. They've done delayed wall once. They did the walk outside to route to big garage. They've kept it fresher than produce. Snatchy is one with the flame. Don't tell me he clicks. Okay. He's just clearly waiting for the hut push. Gotta be terrifying in that spot. Yeah, they've gotten spammed down twice. 2 key kills have come through the hut, which is nuts. And oh, holy shit. Favin. He goes ahead and grabs one, but Issa's up on Fur, dropping down to the top of hut. He could be the man of the hour. Smoke down, trying to reclaim control of Squeaky. And even though they lose one upstairs, he's in a very, very strong spot to be here alone. Rotation comes in from Montu. And it seems like for Sprout, this has opened up the idea of going to ramp. So MBK's got a cute little angle with a tiny little crosshair. Dodging a flash. Eating the second. And what a flash it was. Oh my god. I wonder if you could see his future in that flash. He was blind forever. That was about as good of a flash as you could possibly throw. And once again, we talked about that ramp kill and how important it was. It's not even that MBK played it properly. I can't remember the last time I've seen someone get flashed for that long. Good to see Sprout not half-ass it there. Throw in the first flash, but a second immediate follow-up. It's got to be frustrating to have to play against that. And once again, the ramp is being played in a position where they're not able to fall down. I think that's been a very important problem for OG. You could still win playing in some of these angles or get a kill and still fall back. But we've seen a couple of situations where Sprout... What, 2 players died to the bomb? We've seen a couple of situations where Sprout have committed very hard to ramp. And that's meant... And that's meant that, you know, Valda got traded, he got killed with Glock on round 2. He got rushed down in transition on following rounds. You know, I think Sprout feel very confident about going ramp, and we haven't really once seen a situation where OG play it the standard way. Hold on the ramp, spot, get a little bit of damage off, but make sure you're on the ramp so that you can actually fall down. Mantu trying to bring this game back into his own hands, but Snatchy has other plans. He has opened up ramp once again. Again, this persistent issue here for OG. But I seriously would be bald like Rugga if I was trying to figure out what Sprout we're going to do. At this point, I think analysis is the least of OG's concerns. I think it's more about confidence now. Because this is the point in the game where, yes, there's no real momentum in the sense that OG get a pretty decent buy. They've got grenades. It's a reset of every round. But Sprout feel like anything they'll do will work. And Snatchy has been incredibly confident about all these different angles that he's taken. And yeah. So what do I rate this T half? Well, I'm gonna give this T half, like, I can't give it out a 10 in the first video, right? I will say I think there were some issues there that OG could have won. I also think there's some issues that OG could have fixed. I also think that OG could have also... I'm not queuing in. Oh, this is fully my stream. I'm going to hop back into this Okay, bit awkward. And oh, that's the wrong overlay as well. Okay, I'm gonna rate this T side a 9 just because I can't give it a T side a 10 in my first video. So no other reason really. I think that was a pretty fantastic T side. And wow, would you look at that? Sprout are blooming. What's the next logo? I feel like they have to upgrade, kind of like you would, eventually get to a Venusaur equivalent in logo, because like what if Sprout were the #1 team in the world? Wouldn't that just be strange? Because it's almost like calling your team beta, not like beta in like the manly sense, but beta in the like not fully grown, not complete, not polished. Like what if Sprout were Astralis? It'd just be embarrassing that everyone was losing to a team called Sprout, right? So what's the next step? Maybe I'm alone on that. I don't know. I feel like it would be cool if they had an evolution of logos, kind of up their name. Maybe pick up Leaf, right? That would be a next good pickup. But so far, I think Sprout have a lot of good things going for them. They're doing good. That was a pretty cool T-half. And I think OG at some point recently had a four-map win streak on Nuke. They were doing very good on Nuke. So I think this will be, they'll have to go back, hit the gym, open up the moleskins, some serious talks, and go over things. I think it starts with ramp a little bit. And I also believe the ADR was just quite low across the board for everyone except for Alexi B at the end of this match, who barely had a passing grade. So hitting shots, obviously very important part of this point and click adventure. But yeah, that's it for this video. Coach Lau, while we wait for me to get my YouTube channel back, expect another one of these videos tomorrow. See you then. And why not subscribe? It costs you nothing.